By default, if I try to turn this data frame into a bar chart using Altair, it's not going to look very good. So let me show you. If I do alt.chart, and then the data is coming from this data frame, and then I want a bar chart, so I use mark bar, and then I have to say what's going to correspond to the X location of the bars. So I'll say X comes from the A column. And what's going to correspond to the height of the bars. So I'll say Y for the height is going to correspond to the B column. And so let's look at this. Maybe I'll show what the data frame looks like. So you should always think of the rows in a data frame as corresponding to data points in Altair, or data points in general. So 3, 4 is one of the data points, and then that corresponds to this bar at location 3, height 4. 2, 8, that corresponds to this tallest bar, 2, 8. So that's okay, but this doesn't look like a normal bar chart you would see. And so how can I improve it? Well, one way, which isn't the main thing I want to talk about, is I can specify the width. For example, I could say width of the bars should be 50. So that's already looking quite a bit better, but I don't feel like that's a very robust way of fixing it. Like, you don't want to have to check or maybe change it. If you add another bar at 2.5, then it's not going to look good anymore, because it'll be like squeezed in here between these other ones. So another way you can do it is you can put, so it'll just sort of look like magic at first. Let me put :O here. And let me get rid of this width. The whole point was I don't want to have to use that width. Okay, so this looks a lot better. So we still have this 2, 8 as before, but now it looks a lot more like a typical bar chart. I could also put :N. Okay, it looks exactly the same as far as I can see. So what do these things mean? Well, if you come up here and follow to the Altair documentation, you can see that you can specify like what is the data type of this column in pandas. And you have 5 different choices. I've never used this bottom one before, GeoJSON, but I have used these other 4. So quantitative, that's probably what you think of most. It's just some continuous numerical variable. Ordinal and nominal, these are both what are called categorical variables. And so it's like there are discrete items, and only difference is that with nominal, it's not ordered, whereas with ordinal, it is ordered. So to show the difference, let me add in a color to this. Let me say color is also going to come from the A column. And so since I'm telling it nominal, which remember that meant nominal meant not ordered. So since I'm telling it nominal, it's choosing 4 colors that aren't supposed to have anything to do with each other. So there's no like clear pattern or progression for these. Whereas if I change this to ordinal, so where it is supposed to be ordered, then the colors are supposed to be in this like increasing amount of darkness. So the important part about those colors is here they're just supposed to be 4 distinct colors with no clear pattern, whereas here they're supposed to be 4 colors in a clear increasing pattern. Okay, so and if I were to use :Q, it would go back to the original one. So like if I put :Q here, nothing changes. That's what it thinks it is to begin with. So maybe one other thing I want to say is in the original data frame, we had 3, then 2, then 1, then 4. But notice that by default, Altair like sorts it. So here it's in increasing order, 1, 2, 3, 4. What if you don't want it to be in increasing order? What can you do? So this is going to be similar to what we did in class for getting rid of the 0. We switch to this Alt-X. And so far that has changed nothing. This is just giving me an opportunity to add more arguments to this x-axis specification. And so in this case, the new argument I want to add is sort. So I'm going to say sort equals, and I had to look this up, but none, I believe, is what you're supposed to use. And so now notice that it's the exact same as what was in the A column. Okay, so if I look at df.a, here I'm using the attribute notation. It goes 3, then 2, then 1, then 4. So that's the same as these bars here. Okay, that's all I'll say in this video. Thank you for watching.